Hi all. Traveling along the north side of Caelid, you'll find this fun little path leading to a little natural cave. It's guarded by a dragon and a couple of really easy to kill bears. The dragon you just run by, it's quite a ways up the path. And here you get to Dragonbarrow Cave. Inventory on the screen. This cave is a very straightforward cave. It's just got some really big enemies in it. Just entering the cave, you'll find a Rune Bearer, as I'm sure you've faced before. This one just has a ton of health. At first I was thinking, oh, this will be fine, but then I cast 2 spells at it and do no damage. So I kind of settle in for a large fight. The terrain makes it so I can't get the critical. And as I'm wailing on him, he seems to reset. So the front part of the cave, even though he starts there, seems to be a place where he's not really meant to be. He kind of defaults back into his cave back. This makes it pretty easy to kind of weave in and out, or use spells, or what have you. As seen here, you can just kind of retreat out to the front of the cave and he'll leave you alone. It also seems things do more damage in this place. Luckily, this bear is large and stupid, so you can just sneak around him. That little side cave is where you're going to want to go, but first you can pick up the couple of things here in the cave. The bear is very slow, but if you take your time, you can saunter around. And you're rewarded with a bunch of collectibles and a talisman. This is the Bull Goat Talisman, and helps your poise. I also learned that Rune Bears don't have an intro, so if you get close enough, they literally just hit you. Heading down further into the cave, there's a cavern with one path down to a bunch of wolves. The smaller wolves are just as you might expect, but the large wolf also has a ton of health. So I suggest either killing it from range, as you'll see here, or taking your time to pick off the small wolves, draw them in first. Then right around the corner, you'll drop down into the boss arena. This boss is a duo that you can sneak up on. I took my time here to try to figure out what I was doing with my inventory, but if you go relatively soon, the second one with the knives, the throwing knives, will have his back turned to you and you can sneak up on him. This bear does a ton of damage, and even though it's similar to one of the first bosses you probably fought, the damage that they do is nuts. I'm at 22 vigor and I can only take about 2 shots. I also couldn't remember what the timings were, and so I got demolished. In fact, I got demolished a number of times. It's a little embarrassing. What I found was a good strategy was if you can aggro the ranged one, the melee one is pretty stupid. So you can run up and get a free backstab on him after having dealt a bunch of damage and having your summon do something for you. The throwing knife Beastman has much less health. If you can have your summon tank the greatsword one, then the throwing knife one can go down pretty easily. Once you're down to just one, the fight becomes relatively trivial. It's really the combination of the throwing knives pinging you while the greatsword guy is swinging at you that becomes a problem. this case, I'm trying to bring him off of my summon. The way the summons seem to work is when they hit them last, the aggro switches over to them unless you're closer. And then even then, it will switch to you if you ping them with any damage. So every time, in this case, my jellyfish pokes him, I try to poke him once also, since I can dodge and my jellyfish cannot. It's pretty sweet that the jellyfish can interrupt him. It's very handy. If you take your time, it should be pretty easy. Same big slow moves as before. It's just getting that first one out of the way that's really the problem. I also think this was the first time that I had to run into stamina management problems. When there's two of them, I ended up rolling around so much that I was just flat out. Get him! Finally. And your reward is the Flame Drake Talisman +2. Happy hunting!